There's one experience that's changed my life more than any other when it comes to fashion, and that's going into Nordstrom, booking time with a stylist, and they can go find things that fit me really well. Most of the time, just on my body frame, pants always get hemmed, jackets get taken in, shoes are always the limiting factor. Shoes happen to be the largest category of all clothing apparel. It's $300 billion out of the $3 trillion clothing apparel industry. Shoes are my nightmare. I left a very good job previously to launch this company 4 years ago. Well understood in footwear, people always return them because they don't fit. They avoid shopping online because they're afraid about fit. I don't need to get into that data too deeply. The nature of the problem in the US is $8 billion of e-commerce footwear gets returned per year, and that number is growing at 17% year over year as the channel shifts. People are busy, especially the 71% of women are the drivers of e-commerce footwear. They're buying for themselves, their spouse, and their kids. So it's for her that we're building the product. Me, great, that's a side benefit, but it's ultimately that large, fragmented brand experience. Brand sizes vary, brands change their sizes and widths season over season. It's a moving target, plus the variability of human shapes. So you got two moving targets which are hard to predict. So we're bringing that Nordstrom experience onto a mobile phone, an AI-trained technology that can see and understand you as you are, no judgment, plus get data directly from the brands who make the shoes to provide that match. We're doing this by a Shopify app integration. We work only with vertically integrated direct-to-consumer brands. They made the shoes, they have the Excel sheet from the factory they work with in China, or in the US or in Europe. They upload that to the back end of Shopify. It gives us the best data. Zappos doesn't have that data. And brands are giving it to us because they see the data they're getting on the foot side. We built a proprietary technology, 11 patents filed, with a team who's built and scaled facial recognition companies. So you can take your phone, wave it around your feet, we get an accurate 3D model sub 2 millimeter. So when Nike saw this data, they were blown away and asked immediately, can we roll this out into our mobile apps? And I said, yes. And they said, is it ready for scale? And I said, no. Because the nature of any AI company is you've got to get the data to train the neural nets to make it perform. And that's the big hack. The value prop lands, the market's there, the channel's clear. Where we're at today is after measuring 2,000 people in store, clean data, retail lighting, trained users, we deployed at home. So it's now available on iOS. If you have an Apple phone, please down and try FTSY today. This is our Trojan horse. This is the way we're getting and training the data to show that it's easy. All the risk at this stage is usability. We've validated the science, we can measure accurately, we can get data from the brands, we can predict successfully. Now is it easy? It's the same problem as Alexa and Siri and Google Assistant have experienced. If you listen to people try to figure out Alexa, it's the same problem. Noisy conditions, accents, it's hard to train Alexa, so it just gets it. So you'll get a 50% success rate with a lot of Alexa orders. FTSY's the same thing. Shadows, glare, cats, kids get in the frame, all that stuff. So we're engineering out and designing out those friction points. Revenue-wise, we charge on commissions for small brands. It makes it real easy for Shopify brands to say, click, accept on terms, same product, same fee, same experience for the brand. So they'll just pay us as a digital salesperson, like walking into Nordstrom. Enterprise is SaaS. So any enterprise customer starts at $500,000. The comptroller at Zappos told me $2.5 billion top line e-commerce revenue in footwear, $700 million in returns, $500 million of that is definitely size and fit because we tell them to buy 3. So if you can cut that in half, I would pay you at least $25 million a year. And that's a consistent message from all the major e-commerce players. There's a performance contract in there, which is basically SaaS for enterprise. To get there, we're going SMB first. Small brands are willing to take the risk on this customer experience. As I said, 3 of the team has previously built and exited facial recognition companies. We also brought on PJ Worsfold, who is the 3rd person at shoes.com, knows a lot about the brands and e-commerce operations. I came out of business intelligence, and so I have a great understanding for the CRM and operating automated marketing and sales. Make sure you send me the right offer, and I'll hit buy. That's my experience, and that's a sale that I love with the brand and with the consumer. We recently added Chris Mattis. He was the CIO at Nielsen Rogers, and he was the Chief Analytics Officer at Georgian Partners. This guy is one of the best AI talents that we've got in Canada, and we're thrilled to appoint him as an independent board director. 2.9 million Canadian dollars raised to date. 600K of that is non-dilutive, grants, tax credits, etc. Right now we're raising another $1 million to de-risk the mobile user experience and deploy at scale with major brands. Thank you.
Sorry, I was taking notes, but I couldn't keep up on one part of it, which was just, can you speak to the traction again?
Yeah.
So customer sales revenue.
Yep. This part, 40 brands are on board our mobile marketplace.
Okay.
So again, not the vision, but if you download FTSY today on iOS, you'll see 40 brands listed. With all of them, we're onboarding their shoe data.
Okay.
We've also got just over 3,000 users. We're adding 100 a week.
But of the 40 brands, can you speak to what that's generating in terms of those commissions?
We ran everything on a $99 a month paid pilot up until December.
Okay.
We then got some very good advice, which is to make it free. We should be paying them to get their data. And so in the short term, they're effectively giving us the value. And then as we show that we're reducing returns, there's the commission. And so from January to March, we've stopped revenue in order to get data faster.
Okay. Are you getting it?
Are we getting data faster? We are, yeah. We're adding a brand a week now. You'll see, check out YouTube, FTSY, FTSY. You'll see all kinds of product videos there. And they're both for the brands, how to onboard your data with FTSY, and for the consumer. And so that's where we're unlocking the value.
So how significant are the technical issues that you're talking about in terms of the AI?
How significant?
Yeah.
Quite significant. It's the reason that you don't have these kinds of products on your phone already. The iPhone 10 or Google Pixel 3 are really made for this. It's the GPU on the hardware that makes this kind of technology viable. So the iPhone 6 and below just don't work. And so we are in neck with the pace of hardware. As the hardware gets better and better, we can run more neural nets on the phone to be fast and easy. So we're effectively taking the training from the user to do certain things properly and putting it onto the phone.
And what about your competition? Are they doing the same thing, kind of watchful waiting, or?
Let's stick by this one. Two things. One is web-based quizzes. And so one that you'll see on like the Hudson's Bay and other websites is, what did you buy last time? What are you trying to buy this time? They're increasing the conversion rate, which is good. That shows the consumer's willing to engage something to get a recommendation, but they're not changing the return rate. So it tells you something about collaborative filtering with a quiz isn't good enough because they can't see you. And that is half the problem. The other side is the scanners. They work. Hardware has worked for 20 years. LeBron James gets flown into Portland. Nike scans him and makes shoes for him. So scanning a person works to get the right shoes on them. It's this mobile piece, which is frontier tech still. Running 3 neural nets on a mobile phone, fast and easy, so the average consumer just works.
Why do you need to do that on the device then?
Yeah, yeah.
And why do you like throw it back at like another?
Two parts. One is image capture, making it easy, and the other is processing.
Yeah.
And so if you can wave it around without tapping the camera button, it's easier. So it just feels like a video. What we did with our beta is you had to tap, 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 and that was a friction point. Also, we control the camera settings, so adjust for the exposure, and focus the pixels on the foot pixels, not on the floor or on the cat. So we can do a bunch of stuff on the phone, which segments out the error, so that we get good images in. So it is literally one of those bad data in, bad data out problems, is where we've found the opportunity to reduce friction for the user.
The reason I'm asking is because I think you're actually at the intersection of like some massive waves, like in retail, e-commerce, it's still super underpenetrated in the US, and advancement in like machine learning, but I'm just wondering, like, what do you feel is the enabler? Because all of what you're describing are like micro optimization. If I can get like an accurate representation, like is it that hard to like take an image
really hard. Yeah.
It's that hard.
For the 25 to 35-year-old women using Instagram every day, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like, she understands the lighting.
Okay, but that's a
and
huge
clear
market
spaces.
right there, right? Right, more than focus.
Totally. It's everyone else.
Okay, why do you care? Because the brand care?
We see the fail data. And so one of the beautiful things with the way we set our system is that we see how it failed and where.
Mm.
And it's a lot of these image capture problems. So the object recognition, segmentation, pose estimation makes it all easy. Because people will find ways to fail. It's just incredible. The manual assumptions are the ones to crush. And so that's where all the risk is and where we're solid.
Because I see like that curve, right? When you go into like 0 to 100% accuracy, there's probably like some huge gain that gets you to like 80, 90, and then like the incremental from 90 to 100%.
So the big one is in play right now. It's moving from point cloud reconstruction to direct images.
Yeah.
We've got 50,000 images of feet. Congratulations. It's quite hard to get that data set, but because of that asset, we're reducing the number of photos that need to be taken.
Got it.
And so we're in that economies of learning period before getting to the revenue. And so then it just works for everyone on less data.
What about getting like data from Chinese data farms of feet?
Yeah, actually, we have a partner in Hong Kong who's in Hong Kong because of privacy laws.
Yeah.
There aren't any.
Yeah,
You can just capture all the biometrics. We've gone the other direction where our strategic investor is in London. We're GDPR compliant.
Got it.
We have a consent at the beginning. You have to authorize with Google or Facebook before you begin.
Yeah.
So we've gone full compliant with privacy, which is also the way that the industry is going. When we see other people that are just hacking shit in China because you can do that there.
Just curious, are you targeting another body part of this?
Yeah, we are. Footwear is the beachhead. Eyewear, jeans, bras, jewelry, and a couple other sport categories are all the same dynamics. So we can take the IP infrastructure, mobile phone, Shopify app, cloud-based technologies, and then just stack up extra domains. Everything today is footwear. It's a beautiful category for getting the data and the learning and the partnerships. And then eyewear is the next obvious one. Warby Parker's already done this in part. It's still very hard to get sub 2 millimeter accuracy in 3D. So what they're doing right now for a lot of retail is AR. So just 2D images on a 3D object, or just like how it would look on me. The next layer, the next frontier is wrapping it. So you may have seen in TechCrunch like Wannabe and Viking showing shoes on a foot. It's really wobbly. And we've already solved that problem. And so to see and understand the person and then to wrap the object is giving a realistic preview, which drives the conversion rate and crushes the return rate.